Rogue Sounds offers an inside look at local music events for the month. Josh Gross and Jeffrey Riley discuss December's highlights.
Josh Gross, happy December. Welcome back to the Jefferson Exchange.
Always a pleasure to be here, Jeffrey.
So it's an interesting list that you provided this time, or maybe just the acts you've chosen. It's I don't know. It's almost mistletoe and holly.
Well, I've always told you it's an interesting list of whoever's willing to tour in December. So, if you're willing to go out in December, you're going to see some good stuff because, anyone who's on the road in December or playing live shows is committed because most people are, bunkered down for the holidays. So, it's one of those, in a small market, the good shows are on a Tuesday, and in December, it's all the shows are going to be killer.
All right, and we actually start with a fairly seasonal one. I've actually cut the sleigh bells off of this one simply because the guitar solo is so good. I wanted to make sure we heard that. But this is another anthem. We can talk about the band and its ties to the Rogue Valley, doing a holiday show at Rockafairy in Medford on 12/9. This is called It's a Beaut, Clark.
We'll be singing our favorite Christmas songs while lovers kiss under the mistletoe. Oh, don't you know? Come on now, Christmas. In the snow, the sound of Christmas morning echoes in my soul. This day is like a good dream that you wish would never end. It's what I wish the world could be on every other day. Those sparkling lights reflected in our eyes, and for a single moment everything was alright. And if only for this one day we'll forget all of our troubles and spread goodwill and cheer. Come on now, Christmas.
Man, is that an earworm or what?
Yeah, they can write a hook. So Another Anthem is a longtime Medford pop-punk group, and every year they do a big holiday show, and it's really, really wholesome, and they try to get together a bunch of groups, and they do a specifically all-ages show. And all ages is very big within that community. They want to make sure that kids have an opportunity to see music and to get involved. And they try to make it a fundraiser benefit. And this year they're doing it at Rockafairy, which is in the Rogue Valley Mall. It's a resource organization trying to help promote arts and culture regionally. They give a lot of instruments to kids. They host a lot of events, trying to just promote people getting involved in music. And so they're doing this big holiday show. Everyone's going to be playing some holiday songs. All the kids are invited, and all the money is going to go to help keep Rockafairy operating. It's a nonprofit.
We've had the Rockafairy folks on a couple of times. It's been fun talking about the project and seeing it continue.
Yeah, and if you haven't stopped by and seen it, their new space in the mall is beautiful, and it's really one of those sort of underutilized resources. And part of the reason it's underutilized is because it's a big space and it takes a lot to operate. And they need funding to make that happen, and this is part of an effort to make that happen. Because the people in the generally in the punk scene, they're very much about the idea of trying to get people involved. And so this is a sort of long running tradition of doing that, and but it's also wrapping it into the whole holiday spirit, and it's infuriatingly wholesome, and and that's
right,
why
I have to remember that
song. Because I was like, you can't argue with that song. It both rocks and warms the heart.
It really does. Infuriatingly wholesome. I'm going to hold on to that phrase for a long time, I think. Josh Gross is with us once again with Rogue Sounds here on the Jefferson Exchange. That's December 9th at Rockafairy at the Rogue Valley Mall. Now, we talk about the Meteors coming up to Local 31 in Ashland on December 11th, and let's hear them doing Psycho for Your Love.
Yeah.
There's some yummy stuff in there, too.
Yeah, swinging the other direction from wholesome, getting into the Meteors. The Meteors were formed in London in like approximately 1980. I know how every time I've played psychobilly bands for you before, you've been like, yes, this. Well, here's a fun fact. These guys are oftentimes credited as being the very first psychobilly band.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of between them and the Cramps. Sort of depends on, which side you want to take. But they're really like, with whether or not they're first, they're one of the first, and they've been doing it that long. And these are like as bona fide legends coming and playing a small little show in Ashland on a Monday night. It's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah, I noticed they were coming on a Monday night. Is their name that big that they draw a crowd on a Monday night?
Well, what tends to happen with touring acts is they play the big cities on the weekends, and then they but they have to get to the next place. And that's why I always say, like, if you live in a small market, the best shows are always going to be on, like, a Monday or Tuesday, because that's when bands are trying to get from point A to point B. So if someone's playing, like Eugene or Portland or something on a weekend, then they're going to be coming here the next couple days on their way down to the Bay Area or Los Angeles. So if you're willing to go out on a Tuesday, or you'll see some amazing music. I saw last night was Tuesday. I went out and saw one of the best shows I've seen in like 6 months. And just because that's the night that the good bands are coming through town, because they got to connect the dots. Right,
and it's really helpful for the Rogue Valley to be right on the I-5 corridor because they have to come right through.
Yes, but it means you got to go out and be willing to go out on a Monday or Tuesday. And on a Monday or Tuesday, I've seen Os Mutantes come through town, or the John Spencer Blues Explosion, like huge, legendary groups, but they're always coming on a Monday. Okay. The singer for Suicide Machines just stopped and did a random oh, by the way, I'm going to be coming through town on 2 days' notice, but again on a Tuesday. And this is another one. So I believe the Meteors are going to be at Dante's in Portland on the Saturday, and then they're going to be here on Monday. But you will probably never get a chance to see the Meteors again, especially not in Southern Oregon, because, like I said, they've been around since 1980. This is a legendary band. Southern Oregon is honestly far beneath them. The fact that they're being here is just because they got to get from point A to point B. Take the opportunity. This is a big group.
Yeah, the godfathers of psychobilly, as it were. But okay, the Meteors, that'll be on Monday, the 11th of December at Local 31 in Ashland. Moving on now, we talk about the Diggin' Dirt coming to the Talent Club on the 14th of December, and this is called Milkman.
Bring that fresh cream to the Commonwealth in this land. We got 2 men cows, Bessie and Tilly. They ate a mushroom patch and the milk got silly. But if you're drinking, it makes you want to dance. So if you need a treat, I've got it for you, my friend. Oh, you need. That's because I'm your milkman.
That's another phrase that's going to stick in my head, I think, through the entire month of December and maybe beyond. These guys have a lot of talents and a lot of directions.
And they got a lot of jams. They got a lot of grooves. They got a lot of fun. Let's be honest. We all ate a little too much on Thanksgiving. We're probably going to eat a little too much coming up. You need a chance to dance a little bit of those extra calories off. If you're looking for one, you're not going to find a better one than Diggin' Dirt at the Town Club. That is just going to be a big, sweaty dance party. As you can hear, those guys they got some beats. They got some grooves.
I wish I had the AM radio bell to ring. It's like, he said the phrase that pays, sweaty dance party.
Yeah. It'd be the Pee-wee's Playhouse word of the day. Everyone goes crazy. The Diggin' Dirt, they're out of the Arcata, Humboldt area, sort of behind the Redwood Curtain. They've been doing this thing for about 10 years, just road warriors, just playing big sweaty dance parties all over the West Coast. And, if you've ever seen them, you know exactly what a powerful live show can be. I mean, anything with horns like that just really punches. You can feel the air coming off the horns, especially in a small space like the Town Club, where it's like the music becomes like a physical force that's pressing on you. And, it's cool. It's, like I said, if you like funk, you like funk, but mostly it's just if you want a place to dance and get wild, that's going to be the spot,
Okay, that is Diggin' Dirt coming to the Talent Club on December 14th. And so let's move on now. This is Josh Gross doing Rogue Sounds with us here once again on the Jefferson Exchange, going through the December music scene. And up next is a band called Gnarwhal Juniors. At least that's what I think it's pronounced. The two guys in the band both identify as something junior. So here we are with a clip called Xanadu. They're coming to Johnny B's in Medford December 16th. Here's Xanadu.
Well, hey there, sunshine. Why the cloudy day? I'd rather drown in your fire than the rain. Hold me close, 'cause I'm slipping away.
Josh, if somebody had said, try to listen to this and not think of Oasis, I would have failed.
Oasis is actually a great, not the band, they're the worst, but like it's a great metaphor because these guys describe themselves as desert surf rock.
Huh.
You know, and you can hear it where it's like they've got that sort of like some of that, like the surf kind of guitar tones and everything, but there's a very different vibe to it because it's much more about stillness than the sort of frenetic driving sort of vibe of surf music. Because surf music's got this like, oh, the drums are coming and oh, you got to catch the wave. And, you know, desert rock has a much more sort of like smooth, chill, kind of like dreamy lo-fi-ness to it. And it really brings those things together. These guys are doing some just great, fun, interesting, like sort of dreamy pop songs. And they're getting a lot of write-ups in Phoenix, Arizona, where they're from. And I think this is their first foray up in this direction. I know they've toured down in Texas a bunch, but I don't think they've been through the full West Coast before. And I think it's going to be a pretty cool group, maybe on the come up, you know?
Is it just a duet? I couldn't see any of the names other than the two juniors.
It's primarily one guy who's the sort of main person, and he sort of staffs the band with whoever sort of needs at the time. But I think there's two core members, you know, the guitarist and the drummer. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. But, you know, that's kind of the beauty of a group like that, is that it could be something different every time you see it. You never really know. And, you know, but the core artistic vision stays the same, which is that idea of like that sort of desert surf rock, the Oasis, if you will.
Okay.
Surf the Oasis.
Yeah, right. Gnarwhal Juniors at Johnny B's in Medford on the 16th of December. Our final band here is Indubious, playing a New Year's Eve show, December 31st, at the historic Ashland Armory. This is called Ease and Flow. Now, I noticed this says Ease and Flow featuring Mike Love, as in Mike Love of the Beach Boys.
I don't think it's the same Mike Love. I had the same, like, what? But
okay.
No, I don't think he would be caught dead on a reggae track. I think he would think it's like an invading jungle horde or something. I don't know. But Indubious is a sort of long-time Southern Oregon reggae group. They've really found a niche for themselves with sort of fusing reggae and electronic music in some really interesting ways. So they oftentimes have a lot of EDM elements in their music. And it's very like all sort of focused on the idea of being like very positive and uplifting. You know, oftentimes it's sort of the core of the group is two brothers who have, you know, like really have a sort of inspiring personal story of overcoming some like serious health issues to really focus through the power of music and everything. But their shows are also, they're fun. You know, it's another fun one. These guys are like, you don't book a band at the Armory on New Year's Eve and it's not going to be a good time. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a big space and that's a big night, you know.
Really is. Okay, so let me run the list again. Another Anthem doing the holiday show at Rockafairy in Medford, December 9th. The Meteors at Local 31 in Ashland, December 11th. Diggin Dirt at the Talent Club, December 14th. Gnarwhal Juniors at Johnny B's in Medford, December 16th. And the New Year's Eve show here, Indubious, at the historic Ashland Armory on New Year's Eve, December 31st. Josh, great list as always. Good to have you back with Rogue Sounds here on the Jefferson Exchange.
Always good to be back, Jeffrey. Thank you so much.